What's up, everybody? This is Gagethepyro. This is actually my third take of this video. Let me hope I get it right this time. I want to start off by saying I know I haven't uploaded anything for a while. I'm planning some new content for the channel, but I really felt like I needed to come on tonight and talk to you about something that happened to me tonight. About 3 hours ago now, maybe two or 3 hours ago. Anyway, I work in a Subway. I make sandwiches. And I like working at Subway, don't get me wrong. It's a great job. You get to interact with a lot of people. You can kind of be funny and the customers enjoy it. But tonight we were stupid busy the whole night. And so I was in the back, I was washing dishes, and a woman came up and I went to the front to make her sandwiches. And she said, "Let me get 3 foot longs." So I pull out the bread and I kind of internally thought, as soon as this woman leaves, I'm going to text my friend and I'm going to say, the next person who says I want 3 footlongs, I'm going to grab the knife, come over the counter, and I'm taking an eye. And as I was making this woman her sandwiches, putting the meat and stuff on there, I heard her say to the man in line next to her, who I believe was her son or something, "I've just gotten so much bad news today. I'm in shock. I can't believe all the bad news I've gotten today. I'm just in shock." And at that moment, I was floored. There's a part in the book Blue Like Jazz, which if you're a Christian, go read it right now. It's written by a guy named Donald Miller. You can find that on Amazon. It's not expensive. It's an amazing book. There's a part in Blue Like Jazz where the author is sitting with one of his friends and basically says that in that moment he felt like Jesus was pulling a plank out of his eye. And there's a part in the Bible where Jesus says, why do you point at the speck in your brother's eye when you have a plank in your own eye? Basically, why do you judge someone else when you've got all this crap wrong with yourself? You're pointing at someone else and saying, there's a splinter in your eye, I'm going to help you get it out, when you've got an entire plank sticking out of your own eye. So in that moment, when that woman said, I've got so much going on, I felt like Jesus was standing right next to me, pulling a plank out of my eye. Because in that moment, I realized that I did not care about this woman at all. There was another human being standing in front of me. There was another person who is a person with thoughts and feelings and emotions and dreams and hunger, who wakes up every morning and thinks something and feels something and believes something. And this woman has something wrong with her life, something very wrong, and she is now standing in front of me, and I do not care about her. I care about me. And I care about the fact that I'm going to have to spend an extra 10 minutes doing dishes, and I'm going to have to rush to get my stuff done. The Bible says that we are supposed to love those people, that we are supposed to treat others as we want to be treated, that we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves and treat everyone like they are Jesus, because Jesus loved them and He died for them, and I did not care about this woman or her problems. They weren't my problems. And that's a pretty common expression. It's not my problem. Except it is. And I cannot tell you how bad that I felt in that moment when I realized that I didn't care about another human being who I didn't care. She was a machine that was demanding sandwiches before it would leave, for all I cared. And I realized I really don't care all that much about other people. Call it human nature, but I look out for number one. What'll make me happy, what'll make me comfortable, what at the end of the day is best for me. And I'm humanitarian minded, I would have said yesterday. I like to help people. You know, some of my best memories are feeding the homeless under a bridge. I loved that. That was a blast. That was two of the best hours of my life, were under a bridge feeding the homeless. I did stuff for kids in church for years. I just volunteered there. And yet, in my day-to-day, I couldn't have cared less, to be honest with you. And it just rocked me to realize that I didn't care, that there was a creation, a child of God, that I didn't care about. Pretty scummy, right? Yeah. So anyway, I didn't I didn't screw it up again, I guess you could say, because when we got to the end of the line and she had her subs, I said, ma'am, how does a cookie on the house sound? And then as she was about to leave, I said to her, ma'am, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhearing what you said to him. And if you give me your name, I'll pray for you. And she gave me her name, and I wrote it down, and I gave her a chocolate chip cookie, and I kind of went into the back. And I read in a book years ago that with each death to self, there's a painful birth of new. And it's this moment of relief and agony tied together, because at that moment, I realized how selfish I had been my whole life. And I felt like I was scum, like I was dead inside. At the same time, it was kind of like a phoenix-y thing, because I also felt something new rising up inside of me, because I knew that I wasn't going to make those same mistakes again. And maybe I will. Maybe in a week I won't care about people anymore. But in that moment, I realized that every person is a person. That every person just wants the same things, that wants comfort and love and to be treated like someone out there. And I love Abraham Lincoln. He once said, any man can stand up to adversity. If you want to test a man, you give him power. And every day I have power. Every day I have power to make people laugh, or to make them smile, or to spend $5 to buy a coffee for the person behind me in line, or to buy a big bag of candy and tear it open and just leave them somewhere, just leave them on the front counter of the Subway and say, take one. Every day of my life I have power to help people and to make the world a slightly better place. Even if it's just one person that I help, I can help that one person. But I don't do it. And I don't know if I should call this a confession or an epiphany or a realization or a story or a parable or what. But it's one of those rare moments in your life when it's like a mirror gets put up in front of you and you see yourself, and what looking back at you is ugly. And I never want to be that person again who cares about himself more than other people. I never want to be that person again who is just struggling to make himself happy and content, who gets his paycheck and immediately prioritizes comfort, whose first thought when he wakes up is I instead of they. There's 7 billion people on the planet. I am one of them. I am not the most important person in this story. I am immensely powerful. Because everywhere I go, I meet people and I walk past people, and I have the ability to make any one of them smile. To make one person's day better for 1 minute, and I don't. And it should be my duty to do that. Because every person I meet is the only one of those. And you, person watching through YouTube, you are the only person who is you. You are infinitely different than everyone else on the planet. Infinitely unique. You are a human being with thoughts and feelings and emotion and dream and purpose. And no one seems to care because everyone's concerned about themselves. We lift up and we revere the people who look to something greater than themselves, but I don't want to. I'm not even going to say we and put everyone else in that bracket. I don't do that. I call myself a Christian and wear the cross and have the tattoos and read the Bible, but I think, oh, that was nice, and then walk away from it. Not anymore. I never want to go back to that. I never want to go back to living for myself and throwing $2 in the church plate. There's a song by Matthew West that's called My Own Little World. Go listen to it. Go watch the music video for it. And I don't... Ugh. With each death to self is a painful birth of new, and when a part of you dies, when a bad part of you dies, you simultaneously feel crappy because something that you wore is gone, but also relieved because something new can rise up from those ashes. God, let a better man rise up from these ashes. I want to thank you all for listening to me giving this very, very rough cut of what happened. and why I'm posting a video at 1:45 to midnight. And I want you to know that you do have purpose, that you do have a reason for being on the planet, and you are one of a kind, and I should pay more attention to you when I see you, because you are a mystery, and you are deep, and you are a puzzle, and you have dreams and thoughts and things that you love and things that you hate and traits about you that make you different from other people. Every single person is a work of art, and so are you. So am I. And I don't want to miss that again. I don't want to be holding a mirror in front of me, staring into my own face for so long that I don't see what all's around me. I can miss a couple of meals if it means a few other people are happier. I can take a little more pain if it means someone else doesn't have to. I can look like a fool if it makes someone smile or hopefully laugh. And I want to prioritize doing that, not say I'm going to do it on this day, because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow or the next 5 minutes or this next breath. So I guess it all depends on what I want my last great act to be. Thanks for listening. I'm done talking. You can click onto another video now, or you can subscribe to my channel, or you can go watch the Matthew West video. You can Google Mother Teresa and Gandhi quotes. You can open your Bible, or you can forget everything I've said because I'm a Christian and you don't like Christians, or you can do whatever. Really, but it needs to be said again. You are a work of art. Every human being is, and I want to spend each day of my life like Ebenezer Scrooge at the very end of that movie, just freaking out, so joyful that he was alive and he was in the world and there were other people around him. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a good night.